Hi friends, Sherry here. I'm going to bring you a little move to help loosen those pec major, pec minor muscles. So I've been noticing I have some chronic shoulder issues, but I'm noticing a lot of this stuff is coming from tightness into the pecs. And that's very common because one of the things that happens, especially when we're on our phones and things like that, we tend, to round forward. Desk jobs, office jobs, just in general, our population tends to overstretch our back and understretch our pec muscles, and we get that rounding position. And it can be a tough area to really get into and massage yourself. I mean, you can use your thumb, but what I like to do is use a massage ball. This is actually from Tune Up Fitness. It's about the size of a softball, except that it is a little bit more squishy. You could use, I do have the smaller massage balls as well, and there's other brands out there, but I'm very partial myself to these Tune Up Fitness. I did my training with Jill Miller, and she just has done a great job designing the balls. Now, I do like the bigger ball just because, especially ladies, it's a little bit easier to get into the tissue that we're trying to massage without having to like squish ourselves down onto the floor so much. You can also do this up against a wall. Same concept applies, except instead of being on your belly, you're just leaning into the wall. So anyway, here goes. We're going to take this ball. It's a pretty small area right here into the pec major. So kind of think about the length of your hand, but then we're also going to roll into the side and come right up under, slightly under the armpit, and then you can even go out over the delt as well. So you're just going to bring the ball right into the tissue. You don't want to roll right into the breast tissue. You want to get above it, and then bring that weight of your body into the ball. Now the opposite arm, reach it out into that T position behind you, so you can really open up this area right here and massage around. And I can come kind of up and down. It's not a huge area, and side to side. I can even circle, right? And I can do some of this pinning where I'm really gonna allow my body to press into the wall or into the ball. And here I'm on a pressure point, and I can feel that pressure point, and I'm feeling connection down my arm, up through my neck, as I'm on that trigger point. And so I just want to kind of pin into it, and then some little shifting. I'm not even really rolling the ball. I'm just kind of shifting my upper body a bit. And I can feel that loosening up right there. So rule of thumb, any area of your body, you only want to stick with it, a couple of minutes. You don't want to over agitate one particular muscle. You could roll it today, then come back to it again tomorrow, which is what's great about the balls on your own. Because, massages are great. I love to go get a massage, but I can't do that every day. I sometimes can't even do it every week or every month, depending on my schedule. I can do this as often as I need to. Nice. And then I want to come up under the armpit a little bit. So I'm going to open myself up. My arm is back here to brace me, and I'm just rolling that ball right into the front of the armpit. And then you can see I'm just moving here. Now I want to keep my neck in a nice neutral position. And then again, I can work to really press myself into the ball, pinning, and I can roll up and down and side to side. So we're rolling with the muscle, and we're cross shearing the muscle. Nice. And just a couple of minutes. And then I want to come right out onto the top of this delt a little bit. So I'm going to roll over, getting right in to this delt. Now, it's great to keep your head facing the ground. I'm looking up so that, you see my face, but that does put a little bit of strain on the neck to keep that head up. So keep that head facing down. And then here I can work to roll that arm, palm up, palm down, palm up, palm calm down. Really working all into that delt. Nice. And then I want to bring that over into the other arm. So same thing, coming onto the other side, getting into the main part of that pack, taking that arm out to the side. Now remember, you could do this on a wall. So visualize I'm standing and I'm up against the wall versus laying on the ground. And same thing, I want to cross shear, so side to side. I want to up and down, even some circles, opening that chest, pressing in, pinning it. Now this side is a lot less tight for me than the other side. And so rule of thumb, if one side is tighter than the other, roll both, but you would spend more time on the side that's tightest. So for me, that's my left side, but I don't want to neglect the right because I'm definitely feeling some chunky areas. I like to call them kind of speed bumps, little tighter areas. I'm rolling and I'm kind of meeting that resistance. And so I want to kind of really work into those areas. Now I'm hitting a spot right here where I'm actually feeling some stuff going down in my elbow. So that's also very common. So if you're like, oh, I've got tennis elbow, I've got some elbow issues, it very well could be coming from the chest. Nice. And just working into that. A little bit of hurt, so good, right? We're not trying to press ourselves to the point of like severe pain, but you are going to feel some sensations as those muscles are tightening up. You're going to feel it all around the shoulder, the neck, like I said, even down to the elbow. I've got some stuff going on through my upper back here, as well as I'm hitting these tighter spots. You do want to make sure that you're breathing as you move around there. You do want to make sure you drink plenty of fluids before and after as well, because you are breaking up some scar tissue. I'm coming up underneath that armpit here. And you want your body to help be able to flush that out. Now you didn't get tight overnight. You're not going to completely fix it overnight. Right? It does take consistency. We'll get better each time. But then remember, we're continuing to be on our phones. We're continuing to be on our computers. So we're constantly bringing that forward roll in, rounding of the shoulders in, overstretching of the back. So you do want to continue to make this a weekly habit. You know, roll some part of your body at least once a week. I try to roll some part of my body once a day. And I spend a lot of time on my shoulders because that's where I get most of my issues, into the chest. And I even come into the back of this too, which can be another video. Roll out over that deltoid as well. Nice. And breathe. Really, when you get into the deltoid, think about just holding the ball steady and working through the arm. I don't really time anything that I'm doing. I just kind of go for a feel. When I feel some release happening, I'm like, okay, great. Can move on to another area. And then again, if if I feel like I've been there for a minute or two, I may move on to another area, come back to it later. You don't want to over agitate any one area. You're trying to promote the body to release. And sometimes if we go too far, too agitating, the opposite's going to occur. The body's going to tighten up. But when you hit that little roadblock, there's one right there. It's like a speed bump. I'm just going to press into it and slowly roll over it. Nice. All right, and then I always like to end with a good stretch of the parts of the body that I just rolled. And so one of those great stretches is where you bring the hands behind the back, you interlace them, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then gently pull the arms back, getting that nice stretch through your chest. You do want to sit tall. You could do this standing as well if seating feels not super great. And then I usually add a little bit of a neck stretch in there, lengthening through one side, constantly trying to pull the shoulders down. So I'm lengthening through the neck and take that over to the other side. You want to hold that at least a minute or two. You could shake it out and then do it a second time. That's some definite release there. So enjoy if you have some shoulder issues, chest issues. Great little move to work on. See you all soon. Bye, everybody.